Hey, it's Tom, and I'm on vacation. Right now I'm on McKenna Beach on a little island out in the Pacific called Maui. And I'm going to do a reading for you. It's time for another Page-Turning Tuesday with Tom. We left off with that crazy commercial song we made up for Winston cigarettes. It went like, ooh, want a piece of pie? Pie too sweet? Want a piece of meat? Meat too full? Want to ride a bowl? Bowl too black? Want your money back? Cigarette should... Chris sings the opening and closing part slowly like a pro, while we do the middle part much deeper, faster, and with a mechanical cadence. We take it into the house to perform it for the adults. Mom and Peggy think it's brilliant and cheer. John walks away without saying a word. Later in the day, Danny finds popsicles in the freezer and starts eating one. He has no idea why Shelley, Chris, Molly, and I are staring at him like he's holding a hand grenade. John walks in, sees Danny nibbling upon the forbidden frozen fruit, and commands with his thunderous voice to all of us, "Stay put." He leaves and comes back with a fistful of fly swatters that he hands to each of us one at a time. Tell them how it works. As I begin to explain the 20-fly minimum rule to my God family and feel them growing more shocked and amazed, I'm hit with how absurdly I sound. Utterly absurd I sound. Peggy becomes all fired up and gets right in John's red face. Do you mean to tell me the kids have to kill 20 flies in order to earn a popsicle? Are you serious? She's the only person I'd ever seen fearlessly confront John, and therefore is the bravest person in the world. Don't question my rules in my house in front of the children, John barks, waving his finger in her face. That's just it. Your house, your rules, but have you forgotten? These are your children. For Christ's sake, let them be kids. How much is a box of popsicles? Tell you what, here's $5. Let the kids have all the popsicles they want. How's that? Peggy slaps the bill on the kitchen counter and slides it towards John. John looks at it as if he's going to blow steam out of his ears. It's not a matter of money, dummy. It's about the flies, he says, sliding the bill back to Peggy. My mother remains perfectly still in the corner, staring at the floor like a mental patient in a psych ward. Peggy reaches into the freezer and hands each of us a treat, trying to lighten the mood. I'm frozen, holding the politically charged missile bar in my hand like a mannequin. I'm on Peggy's side, but John is still in the room. Peggy's kids start licking tentatively. John's face turns dangerously red, and he walks away, slamming the door on his way out. We can hear his feet grinding into the gravel on his way to the garage. Mom peeks through the kitchen window and then paces nervously. He's pissed. His face got dangerously red, she says. Does he have a shotgun out there? Peggy asks. No, but there is a can of gas. We laugh nervously. Can you believe we live like this? Sometimes John is just too hard with the kids, our mother says. You think, Peggy says sarcastically? This ranch is a concentration camp. Your kids are missing out on their childhood. They're your kids too, Marilyn. You have to stand up for what's right. Don't forget that. He's such an asshole, says Claire with enough spittle to spray a greenhouse full of ferns. Way too uptight, adds Laura. I know, Mom says. Sometimes I think I'm going out of my mind. This is a revelation. For the first time I realize that John isn't always right. He can be so wrong. Mom doesn't like the way he treats us and might get brave enough to do something about it. What if she does something drastic, like leave John and end up with, God forbid, some dope like Big Ray? That rock-solid foundation all children need to feel for security is now quicksand, and I'm sinking into it quickly. We know for a fact that once Peggy leaves, it's back to the same old oppression, rules, and silly regulations. Many flies will fall before we enjoy our next popsicle. On the last day of our God family's visit, Mom arranges a barbecue and invites Big Ray. John is still brooding from yesterday's confrontation. He stands over the grill, shooting us the stink eye. It bothers me that Ray sits right next to my mother. I hate the way he rolls his pack of cigarettes up in his sleeve. It's like he's begging for people to notice his tan muscles. I drop my napkin under the table and catch a glimpse of his hand on my mother's leg. He may have had a boner. Jumping up in disgust, I hit my head on the bottom of the table. I'm in a daze, extremely confused, angry, and unable to eat. I sit there, festering like a pus-filled boil about to burst. John finishes his food first and wanders off to the garage. It changes the atmosphere completely. We're relaxing at the table during the magic hour when the sun is setting and the golden golden light makes everything look better than it actually is. We're swapping the kind of stories that makes us laugh and brings us closer. I'm still stewing about Mom and Big Ray when suddenly, without warning, Danny slams a large chunk of half-eaten watermelon onto my head. Other than the wet seed wiggling its way into my ear, it actually feels good. Because it's so shocking and so beyond the behavior John tolerates, we might as well break the rules while John's in the garage and Peggy's here to protect us. Danny lets me get him back by smashing him over the head with a humongous, glistening wedge. And I'll cut it off there for today. Thanks for joining me in this semi-beautiful place we call Maui. Tune in next Tuesday for another edition of Page Turning Tuesdays with Tom. Aloha.